What are shadow beings and what can you do about them? As featured on woowoomedia.com by Michelle Walling, CHLC. As the veil continues to thin between dimensions, many people are reporting seeing shadow beings. Some beings are dark black silhouettes of a human nature, while some can be wispy blobs or even animals. The most reported shadow silhouette is the shadow of a man in a hat standing by the person's bed, watching over them. Most of the time, shadow being sighting occurs out of the corner of your eye. When you turn to look at it, it may have already vanished. However, many people are now seeing these shadow beings more clearly and for longer periods of time than just a fleeting glance. They usually cannot see a face clearly, and sometimes they report seeing hooded beings with glowing eyes. Many people have reported shadow beings getting into bed with them. A shadow animal may lie on the bed next to them, and a shadow person may even try to spoon them or get on top of them. This can be very frightening. An understanding of what these beings are will help in figuring out how to stop this from happening. Shadow beings exist in a parallel dimension and can appear dark because of a lack of light. Shadow animals are usually harmless, but shadow beings can also shapeshift. I can't say that all shadow beings are malevolent, but it's a good idea to find out their intentions of being in your presence. Although some people are not frightened of these beings and have gotten used to them, most people would like for these shadow beings to leave them alone. The shadow people are usually energy vampires that exist in the lower astral planes of the fourth dimension. These beings need some kind of energy source in order to survive because they have almost severed their connection to Source. They are attracted to your light because you are connected to Earth and Source through your physical body. Simply put, you have what they need and they are getting desperate to get it. Ghosts are different than shadow people, as they are on a different level of the astral plane. Most ghosts appear in wispy white or translucent forms. They are usually hanging out on Earth to watch over someone, or they may be attached to an object or house they loved. Perhaps they don't realize they have left their third-dimensional body yet. Some ghosts are just energy signature patterns caused by overlapping timelines. Shadow people can only affect you in correlation with the level of fear that you carry, and they feed off of that fear as an energy. You may not understand how you are more powerful than them, but just by being able to see them, you have made the first step in cutting them off from stealing your energy and stalking you. Depending on your confidence of who you are as an aspect of Source, you could tell a shadow being to leave, or you could figure out how to help them get back to their oversoul or Source. If you are too fearful to even speak to one of these beings, try burning some sage and intending that your aura and your house be cleansed of everything that is not in your highest and best intention. If you realize that all things are energy that come from Source, perhaps you could find compassion and bravery within your heart to help these beings. Prepare by asking your higher self, oversoul, Source, guides, and angels to help you reach the shadow beings and to support you completely to stay out of fear and to help the being move on. Here is a brief summary of what you can do to help a shadow being. Number 1. Ask who they are and what do they want. If the being happens to be a lost aspect of you, then look at this as a great opportunity for integration and healing on an oversoul level. You can skip to number 5 to do this. Number 2, ask them if they are lost. If not, explain that they can no longer feed off of your light or stand around and watch you. Explain that they are not welcome in your energetic space, in your home, or near your family. If they are lost, the next step is to determine how you can help them find their way. Number 3, ask them if they would like to leave the plane they are in. If yes, well, ask them why they haven't. Usually it's because of guilt or fear of the judgment that they may receive in the light that keeps them in a lower vibrational frequency. Sometimes it is simply because they don't realize they can leave. Talk to them about the illusions of fear and how they are loved and always forgiven in the other planes. Explain that all guilt is self-imposed and that there's no menacing God just waiting to judge them. But if they say no, reiterate that they cannot stay in your home and that the earth is going through a transformation. Tell them they will not be able to stay on earth in the future as well because she is going to vibrate at a different rate than they can exist in. Tell them that this is their opportunity to finally move on. Number 4, ask them if you can help them now move to a place where they can heal and be fully supported in finding love and finding their own light. This is their chance for freedom and forgiveness. If they say yes to this, move to step 5. If they say no, go back and repeat number 2 and 3 until they either agree to be helped or they basically leave. Stand in your power of claiming your own energy and protecting your family, and they will have no reason to stay because of a lack of energy to feed off of. Number 5, to assist a shadow being home, ask your guides and angels to connect with this being's higher self and guides and angels in order to assist them. Explain that most fear stems from a lack of self-love and the inability to forgive themselves. Ask the guides and angels to extend a hand out to the being and show them how to leave this place and how to finally find love and forgiveness. If you are clairvoyant, you may see the being vanish, and if you're clairsentient, you may feel the room get lighter. If this is an aspect of yourself, it may jump into your heart space, or it may simply vanish. You may have to keep talking while they take a few minutes to think about what they want to do, and you may even have to come back in another session if they are really being stubborn. However, if they come back more than once, they are just stealing your energy, and if you're not standing in your own power, be self-aware of what is happening and how you are feeding the situation. Number 6, I like to take this opportunity to ask if there are any more beings who would like to go home at this time, reiterating that they won't be able to stay where they are much longer. I created dialogue explaining what I know about the ascension of Earth, and I let them know that I'm there to help them go home. I can even tell them that they don't have to go single file, that they can go all at once. Then I give them a last chance warning that this session is about to close. I end the session with a high vibe of love and gratitude by thanking all guidance involved. I personally have not seen many shadow beings. However, my partner Greg saw a dark shadow man in a hat at the foot of my bed when we were on a cruise last year. I have a feeling that being liked to hang out on the ship where he could watch and figure out how to get some energy. If you are in a public place like a hotel, these beings may even follow you home if they like you. It's important to know this information, but not to be fearful or obsess about going to hotels or public places. As long as you keep your vibration raised and don't give them anything to feed off of, they have no reason at all to stay. Sometimes you can smudge your hotel room when you get there, and you can always smudge your house when you return home. If you find yourself doing this often, however, then you're exhibiting fear, which lowers your vibration back to them being able to see you in the first place. Part of my own spiritual practice involves transmuting or integrating lost aspects of my oversoul. These aspects may be from a past, future, or parallel lifetime, or from the current lifetime. Tragedy and fear can cause energy to slow down or freeze in time, causing it to get lost and separated from the light. As we are moving back up through the dimensions, these aspects need to be gathered up so that our soul can be whole once again. On a higher level, all energy is connected, and helping even one being helps the collective and therefore helps your soul in the long run. Related article by Woo Woo Media's Greg Prescott is all about shadow people, and the link will be at the bottom.